Good morning and welcome to the Kissimmee Osceola Chamber's 15-minute series. My name is Adrianna Sekula and I'm the chair of the Kissimmee Osceola Chamber of Commerce. And today I am delighted to introduce to you Christina Morris. Hi, Christina. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Christina has direct oversight over the East and West 192 community redevelopment area in Osceola County. She's an experienced economic development professional who's worked with Osceola County government for over 20 years, and today is helping lead both those CRAs and making significant contributions towards growing and diversifying the county's economy, upgrading its infrastructure, transportation network, and helping to create even greater neighborhoods. Christina, thanks again for joining us. We're really excited to hear about West 192 and what you're doing in our community. Can you tell us a little about what the purpose of the authority is?
Yeah, sure. So West 192 Development Authority is a 7-member board responsible for implementing projects and programs that enhance the appeal in the corridor to our tourism market, as well as try to attract new investments.
And how long have you been with the authority, Christina?
A little over 2 years with the authority.
Yeah, we've really much enjoyed the time that we're working with you. You know, here at the Chamber, we have our Osceola Resort Area Council that tracks very closely what West 192 is doing in our community. So can you kind of share, when I'm saying resort area, where is the West 192 corridor located?
So the West 192 corridor is a 15-mile corridor. The eastern portion of that corridor starts at Hoagland Boulevard, and it goes as far west as the Osceola Polk line.
That's a long ways and something to take care of in terms of a CRA. Is there a specific way that you break up these districts or keep track of everything that's happening on that 15-mile stretch?
Yeah, so because it's such a long corridor, the West 192 Development Authority decided about 2 years ago to break that up into 8 different segments, and each one of the segments are themed. The easternmost segment is our segment 8, and all the way through 1, which is the Four Corners area, segment 1.
Really exciting. I hear that you brought a video sort of to show us, kind of give us an overview of how West 182 is broken up and kind of details for our residents and those members who are interested.
Yeah, so the video I'd like to show you kind of highlights some of the marketing data points in our corridor.
Thank you, Christina. That's really impressive. When you're talking about 1,700 businesses and the amount of jobs that are created in just that section of Osceola County, it's really, really impressive. Can you talk a little bit about how you and the authority are working to implement that vision that you're setting forth?
Sure. So we have a lot of different projects in the pipeline. Our most recent is design guidelines we implemented last year. And so it really speaks to how development will build out along the corridor. And these design guidelines are for new development. It will not affect any existing development. And then also we implemented a sign ordinance. So if you drive the corridor, you'll notice the new purple signs. That is part of our new design guidelines as well. We also just completed $2 million worth of landscaping enhancements along the corridor. We're going to be taking a look at LED lighting upgrades. We've already upgraded the pedestrian lights along the corridor. We're going to be looking to take the purple street lights down and replace those with black street lights, also LED, and continue to offer improved safety along the corridor with enhanced code enforcement and some new cameras also.
That's wonderful. How does this influence private development that's going in on the corridor?
Yeah, so On the private development side, we also offer incentives in addition to kind of telling them how we would like for them to develop with the design guidelines. We have three major incentives that we offer to new development and existing development. We have a facade improvement grant, and it allows the applicant to get up to $30,000 if they make improvements to their property in the corridor. The sign grant, again, one of our most popular grants along the corridor. We continue to offer that grant. And that is so that they can go from the pylon signs to the purple monument signs, which will be required starting October 1st of 2022.
Sorry, Christina, I thought you were taking a break, and I do want you to answer that, but since I was so interested in the signs, I sort of jumped ahead. You're saying that they're going to be required to have those monument signs, any business that's going in here for it?
Yes. So we implemented a sign ordinance, and that sign ordinance requires that any businesses fronting the corridor should have that sign by October 1st of 2022.
Okay. Wonderful. And I'll let you continue on in the private development piece. Thanks, Christina.
No problem. So the newest incentive we started this year is our Catalyst Incentive Fund. And that was a way for us to take a look at the 8 miles and really drill down and see what we would like to attract to those different areas. So to pair that up, we have a Catalyst Incentive Fund that offers new development up to $1.5 million, and it's a point system.
And so any businesses can come and apply for any of these 3 incentive grants, or is there certain criteria that they need to meet?
So there is certain criteria, but for the most part, new and existing businesses for the sign grant and the facade grant, the catalytic or the catalyst site incentive fund will be a little bit more competitive, but everybody is welcome to apply, and all the details of each one of those are on our website.
Well, the changes that you're doing are evident when you drive down West 192. You see that signage. Everything looks super cohesive. So it's not just about getting those grants to business. You really are influencing even what the entire corridor looks like. So it's just really impressive work. And we want to thank you for the work you're doing on the tourism corridor. What are some of the recent development highlights that you've been working on this past year?
So we have a lot of projects in the pipeline, lots of exciting stuff. One of them is the skydiving experience, which is going to be further west. And that is a experience that will house the International Museum of Skydiving, as well as 2 skydiving attractions. There's also Everest Development, which is over 200 acres. It'll have flag hotels, apartments, and also retail. New to market restaurant coming to the corridor is Sicky's Burgers and Brews. And then there's also Crush Bra Park, which is going to be a German beer garden in phase 1, and then a container style kind of restaurant in their phase 2 park. Continuing to develop is Magic Place, which is 400 plus acres. And they also will have a large gourmet food park as well as restaurants and flag hotels and apartments.
Christina froze just a little bit, so I'm going to guess that was a big no. But it is exciting to hear about the developments that are coming onto the corridor to really enhance that tourism district. Like the video Christina showed, 45% of sales tax collected in the entire county is on this 15-mile stretch. So can you kind of talk about what your board does, Christina, and what you all do to affect how those tax dollars are spent in Osceola?
So our board really takes a look at what we can do to better kind of enhance that. So we have an ongoing asset management company that takes care of that. We also did studies such as a mobility study to see how we can better move residents and visitors along the corridor. So we're always trying to refresh and change to keep up with the market.
Any ideas in terms of transportation?
Florida Department of Transportation is completing a study to take a look at some new and improved. But yeah, that is really not in our wheelhouse, but we like to stay abreast of what that.
Yeah, well, again, the work that you've done there in the few years that you've been heading the authority, and I know you've been with the county for a long time, has just been incredibly impressive. I encourage anyone who hasn't been to that side of Osceola County recently or driven through the tourism district to really give it a chance to check out those new restaurants, to see what's happening at Margaritaville and at Old Town and everything new that's coming into play because of the work Christina and her board have done. Working with you has been phenomenal, Christina. I really always enjoy it. And we appreciate it at the chamber too, because we work so closely with West 192 on everything you're trying to accomplish. Is there anything that you'd want the followers that are watching today to know about your work or the work of 192 or the tourism industry that we haven't heard yet?
I would just like to encourage everyone that hasn't applied to keep in mind that Osceola County, in this COVID environment, is still offering grants. A lot of the businesses along West 22 have taken advantage, but I'd like to remind everybody that those are still available. Um, and that's it.
Thank you so much. Osceola County has been just phenomenal to its residents and to its businesses during this pandemic, and we want to thank you for your 2 decades of service in the public sector. And we couldn't have done all of this without you and the work of the county. So thank you, Christina. It was good to chat with you virtually and to see you again, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Take care.